Okay, welcome back again. The first day we are doing at least 3 interviews today. We have already done Shamsu Bhai and then Khosru Bhai. And now I've got 2 young members, I mean comparatively much younger than us. One is with me is Altaf, and then next to me is Hasan Matin. Some of you will remember his father, late Matin Sahib, and his eldest son. And he's also involved, he come from Bangor. You can imagine, this is in Preston. So he's come 100 miles more just to attend this. So I'm just excited to know what they have learned from this one so far, listening to these 2 gentlemen, and what is their view of that. So let me start with Hasan Matin first. Hasan, you know how your father was involved. You heard these 2 gentlemen talked about how your father's involvement in the Liberation War. What is your understanding now, having heard these 2 interviews? Could you please explain a bit?
Sure. Well, thank you for allowing us to say a few words. I mean, today is a very emotional day. To hear Khosru Bhai and Shamsuddin Shab talk about what they did and how my father was involved for the struggle of the liberation of Bangladesh, it's very emotional. It makes us realize that we are all proud of our fathers. But today, you understand why other people loved him so much. Sometimes
yes.
You think, why do these people show so much respect towards him? And listening to these 2 people really made me feel very emotional.
I'm so glad you think that way. Okay, I'll come back to about your learning part, but let me come back to now Altaf. Now, you proved to yourself to be a very good professional cameraman with 5 minutes notice. But I'd like to know that what made you come to listen to Shamsu Bhai's and Khosru Bhai's interview today?
Listen, everyone. I'm very privileged to be here today, although I'm much younger than you, and highly respected you, and it's very inspiring me every time MD Shamsuddin Shab, when he asks me, Altaf, where you are. It doesn't matter where I am. I never tell my what I'm doing that, but I always honor
company.
Because he's much older than me, but look at that, his age is 85, he doesn't look like. And always is interesting that I always like to learn. Although liberation time, 1971, I was younger, I remember when our MJ Usmani called for this come together, the Pakistani Bahini, which is attacking like that. And it's very emotional man today, which is our Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, we called for this independence, and he has been assassinated on the 15th of August. He's an emotional man, and same time I'm very emotional what I heard. His father, Brother Hasan, running a travel agent that I know, and since I met with Brother MD Shamsuddin Shah, and I heard about his father, I didn't know anything about before.
I see.
So it is a very emotional and encouraging me that I love to learn how this happened, because at the liberation time my father was here in England, and as a communication was very difficult. However, the main things I like is very interesting, and I am very emotional, like the other says, to know about this our independence country, which was West Pakistan, and learning those distinguished speakers, MD Shamsuddin Saab and Ahmad Ali Shab.
Okay.
And I'm very privileged to learn that. And it is every time they talk, and I always go into the dream, what our dream was for the 1971 to become a Bangladesh independence.
Excellent. I'll come back to you again, what you feel now. But Hasan, if I can come back to you now, maybe getting into more detail of the aspect, and if you can zoom more now about the community. You knew how your father was a big community person, but can you for the timing think of the role the Northwest played that time, even from those 2 people, and again extend it to where is the community now, and what is that spirit gone or still retained?
I mean, I was very young at the time, but I remember going to the Shalimar restaurant.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I remember going to the Manjil restaurant on Stockport Road. There used to be an office there, and they had a big hall on the first floor where meetings took place. Even the Shalimar, there was a gentleman called Al Miah.
Yes.
He was like a paternal uncle to me.
All right.
Very close and very loving. So these are people who were involved, and I remember their involvement, their sacrifice. Okay, I may not be old enough to remember what they did, but we
If you don't mind, how old were you that time when you went to Shalimar? Is it 2 or 3? Is it?
Probably, well, I was 3, 4 years
Yeah,
old.
but you still have got some understanding of that.
Yeah, but these memories,
Yes.
these are, you remember one thing from childhood, and I remember that, one day in my life at that age, it was at the Shalimar restaurant, seeing all these people there.
Unbelievable.
I don't know why they were there.
Yeah. I'm glad you said, because that's one, as you know, it's become Arndale Center now. It's completely
That's right.
changed, but you
Yes.
put in a memory box.
Yes.
Okay, now, if you can extend a bit, what do you think of community now? Because it's almost coming to 50 years since that time. And the spirit, of course, we got Bangladesh independence, and now so many governments have gone. What is your understanding of the community spirit now and the whole aspect of nationalism, patriotism?
Patriotism is there. There's no questioning that. People are very patriotic, very Bangladeshi. But what is not there is probably the brotherhood, the togetherness that they had when they fought for the liberation of Bangladesh. These are Muqtada Juddas.
Yes. Yes.
They fought. Okay, they didn't hold a gun in
Of
their
course.
hands, but they raised finances, they raised money. So from that perspective,
They're revolutionaries.
exactly.
Yeah, we are lobbying.
And today,
Yes.
we probably don't have the same brotherhood, unity as they had.
Why is that? If I can put you on the spot now.
No, I mean that it's very hard to say this without being disrespectful, but I think we lack leadership.
I think some of them already mentioned that before.
And possibly it's because we're all independent minded, we all have our own independent businesses, jobs, we think we don't need each other. But
Right.
as an immigrant community, we must remember we are still an immigrant community in this country. We need that togetherness and that unity, just to keep our identity.
Yeah. And
Our
my final
community
question to
identity.
you is, we are coming to 50th anniversary of Bangladesh. How do you feel now? I mean, I know you were never in Bangladesh, you were born and brought up here.
That's correct. Yes.
But I would like to know from diaspora Bangladeshis like you, who can also speak our language. I've talked to you in Bengali too before. But with the 50 years coming, how do you feel? How is your excitement?
Oh, the excitement is there. It's proud. We no doubt we are all proud that Bangladesh is achieving or has achieved 50 years of independence, and we're proud to be part of that culture and that identity, that nationhood. But we need to see Bangladesh improve more. Bangladesh has the potential to be far greater. In 50 years, what it has achieved, people think is fantastic. No, it could have achieved a lot more if the unity was there. We forget history. The one thing I must say today that I felt emotional, but I felt disappointed at the same time. A little bit of anger came in because Bangladesh has not recognised what the Prabashi Bangladeshis
I was
did.
coming to that point.
And that needs to be
Pains you.
addressed. Yes, it pains me. And maybe the 50th anniversary is the ideal opportunity for the Bangladesh government to recognise what these gentlemen, what these people did, what my father did
Yes.
during
yes.
the struggle for the liberation of Bangladesh.
Thank you very much. Well, final word from you. Same question again. How do you feel now after coming to 50th anniversary? And how do you see this community spirit have gone from what was there before? I know you were very young that time. But how do you think it has transformed? Because that's how we grew up with his father as a community leader. We was in Liverpool, some people in Sheffield, but we all congregated, as Kochubai very rightly mentioned, and Shamsubai. What is your feelings now?
Well, with the due respect, as Brother Matin Bhai who's mentioned that, which is, as far as my opinion, this is we are proud to be Bengali, to be independent, and no doubt about the respect of the Bangladeshi. This is a issue what has been, we can see, because of the lack of the leadership, lack of the respect of the elders, and that's why unity is not in one.
But can I also interject? What about the role of the young people as well? I mean, do you provide similar respect to as a young people we used to do our leader at that time?
Yes, this is individual circumstances anyway, which is me, which is I'm from the background, which is the family with a background up to now, which is 3-4 generations gone. My generation still is united in one platform. So I cannot able to explain to somebody else. When you're talking to my children anyway, they alhamdulillah, they still respect, because I'm eldest in my family and I have 5 brothers who live in the same street anyway, and all respect.
Are you teaching them Bangladeshi language, Bengali language?
They are all typical Bengali, but they're also they speak English as well. So do respect anyway. We respect them highly anyway, and give them motivated to their growth.
Because when we were young, we taught our children to speak Bengali. And that's why, and because of the leaders like his father and others, we had a free Bengali schools and all that. But nowadays, I think that is really shrunken now. Not many people are interested to teach their children their national language and all that. So I just wonder whether you have also got some responsibility to revive this national spirit.
Well, it is a good question anyway. As I mentioned to you, my circumstances is a little bit different because I live in a society motor in Bangor for the last 40 years anyway. And when I go to the different city like London and Manchester, I do see a change, look the difference. Okay. So I'm very fortunate anyway, one sense anyway. I'm still keeping this my old culture anyway. At the same time with the new generation, they grow with the their own independent.
And the final point is, as he said, the role of these old people now, their role in the national movement. What do you think? Are they being recognized? Because you go to Bangladesh quite often, probably.
No, I do.
But the people who are living in abroad and their contribution towards liberation war, do you think that is being done well?
No.
No, not unfortunately.
No, because when you go, because not many people know what we did here that time. Okay. Thank you very much for your very nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.